Thinking with Portals.
Terry Bogard in Smash Brothers. Did not see that coming. So who's Terry Bogard? Terry Bogard is a fighter from the King of Fighters and Fatal Fury series. He's a bit of a brawler. He's a bit... What's that? What's Fatal Fury? Okay, alright. Don't worry, I got you. I'll explain that too. Let's back up. Okay, so Fatal Fury is, and King of Fighters, is a fighting game that is often a rival to the Street Fighter franchise that appeared on the Neo Geo. It's a little different. Its graphics are very good, but... Huh? What's a Neo Geo? Okay, let's try that again. Right, Neo Geo is a console from the 90s. It wasn't as popular in this country, the UK, as some other places. It was created by SNK and houses some very popular franchises such as Metal Slug, Samurai Showdown, King of Fight... What? Who's SNK? Okay, don't worry. There's a better way of doing this. We'll do this slightly differently. Hang on.
Capcom. This is the tournament for the new millennium. You'll experience the most exciting battle in history. Let's get ready to battle. Feel the intensity when power and technique collide. Crush the competition. A battle beyond your imagination. Let the martial arts madness begin. 2001 is the year we make contact. Welcome to the revolution. Capcom versus SNK2. Mark of the Millennium 2001.
Man, did I miss this game. So many hours I used to play this with my friends. I can't wait to play this again. It's going to be such a nostalgia trip.
This is the first dream event.
So yeah, my first real meeting with Terry was in a game called Capcom vs SNK 1 on Dreamcast. I later got Capcom vs SNK 2 for the GameCube. And this was really the main fighting game me and my friends played for a very, very long time. So Terry became one of the staples in a lot of my teams. So what's a Terry, what's a Fatal Fury, what's a Neo Geo? Neo Geo was a console that was a very powerful 2D console with a lot of 2D fighting games and 2D shooters. A lot of those fighting games still have a lot of fans, especially in Japan today. It was really a main rival to Street Fighter, who dominated a lot of the 2D fighters and Capcom in general. But Fatal Fury was a kind of a different take on that 2D fighting game. I remember my friend Granville had Fatal Fury for the Mega Drive, and the difference mainly about that game was it had two planes. You could fight in the foreground and the background. It's a mechanic they dropped very quickly as the games went on the basis that it just slowed the fight down, trying to line up and make sure you're on the same plane each time. So they didn't really sort of follow it up, but Fatal Fury got sort of swallowed by the King of Fighters, which is where SNK decided to take a lot of their franchise and fighting games and sort of mix them into one genre called the King of Fighters. And that's when really they took it to Street Fighter to try and take a crown or be an alternative to a lot of the 2D fighters. And a lot of people consider Terry to be the face of SNK, similar to Roy is to Capcom, or Cloud is to Final Fantasy, or any of those kind of things. So Fatal Fury became King of Fighters. Terry has been in every King of Fighters game that's ever been released, and that's why he's been chosen. Really, is that he's the face of that very popular Japanese fighting franchise.
Next location is
So,
New York.
why is that important? Why is that in Smash? my theory is a lot of these extra characters and guest characters that they're going to pick up, they are simply going to put those into companies and choose big video game companies and the face of that company to represent that company within Smash Brothers. As I said, you've got Cloud from Final Fantasy being Square, Bayonetta for Platinum Games, Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter, Banjo-Kazooie for Rare, Persona for the Joker for the Persona franchise. So I think they're going to go around and find, okay, this is a celebration of video games. We want to bring everybody to the party. We want to represent every big company we are particularly fond of. SNK being one of those, and that's why there's Terry. I think they're going to go around many other companies and go, which character personifies this company the most, and put that character in Smash. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. And Terry, although you could argue Kyo is the face of King of Fighters, Terry has arguably been the most recognisable character for many years for SNK, and anybody who knows anything about SNK will go, yep, that's Terry, and I think that's why he's in Smash. So if you look, there's other examples of this. You've got Pac-Man for Namco, Mega Man for Capcom. Even Game & Watch is the mascot of the Game & Watch franchise that came out as part of Nintendo's history. So, why Terry? Why is he important? He's important because he's SNK's mascot, and SNK is a big company, especially in Japan, and they want to represent SNK as part of this celebration of video games. So what kind of moves can we expect from Terry in Smash? Well, being a fighting game character, he has a whole host of games and moves to draw upon. His main move, I would say, that especially my friends playing against me on this game had enough of, is his Burn Knuckle, which is a charging punch from one end of the screen to the other. That's pretty much been in every single one of Terry's games. He also has the Power Wave, which is that fireball at the end there, which is kind of like a spark that goes across the floor, acting like a fireball from Ryu or Ken. He has his Power Dunk. I'm not too sure if that's going to turn up. That was that first move you saw there, where he rises into the air with a shoulder tackle and then comes down with a downward punch. That hasn't been in every one of Terry's games, but I particularly like it in this game here. What you saw there was his Buster Wolf, which is a charged up version of that Burn Knuckle, where he charges in, lands the first punch and then explodes into fire. His Crack Shoot was the overhead kick there, and that's the Rising Tackle, which is another anti-air move that Terry has. That will probably be more likely to turn up than the Crack Shoot overhead kick that you saw at the beginning. As you can see, it's very effective. Yeah. And his final smash will probably be the Power Geyser, which is those 3 punches. Well, it's normally 3 if you've got a full charge bar. I didn't at that point, but yeah, he punches into the ground 3 times, and like volcanoes erupt out of the ground to hit his opponent. So there's a very quick sort of overhaul of all his moves and what he does. So he's got a huge variety of what he can do. A lot of closing down the distance. A lot of versatility, anti-air. He brings all that to the table, so he's a very powerful specialist. As far as his fighting style goes, he's a brawler. He was an orphan that was raised on the streets through street fighting, so it won't be fancy kicks like Ken or any kind of martial art as such. It'll be a brawling style with lots of ugly but powerful punches and kicks, and kind of street fighting type in nature. So yeah, fireballs, charging punches, overhead kicks, anti-air moves, the final smashes being either or both maybe, like Ken and Ryu, Buster Wolf, which is a charging punch into an explosion, or the Power Geyser, which is 3 punches into the ground there. And again, I think you'll be able to link the moves together. So you'll do his punches and kicks, followed by his special, or doing sorts to end them, set them up, closing the distance with some of his moves, bringing close with some hard punches and kicks, and then hit them with the Buster Wall for the crack shoot. There's the power geyser. Quite hit all of it. But as you can see, that burn knuckle is very effective to close a lot of distance down very quickly. I'm pretty sure that'll be in there and annoy people as much as I did back in the day when I was playing this game.
Wait a second. A new opponent has
Oh, here we go. So one of Terry's biggest rivals in his own game is a character called Geese. I believe he killed his father, and Terry's out for revenge. If you remember in the trailer for Terry in the Smash Things, you saw Geese fall off the building after missing the letter. That's a callback into the ending that Geese had when Terry defeated him, where Geese in their fight fell out of the window and Terry went to go and save Geese from falling, but Geese refused to be saved by Terry and decided to fall. So yeah, that's pretty much. Geese is like the Bison of the SNK universe. Kind of a last boss. He's hosted a lot of tournaments. He's kind of like a crime lord, Yakuza or something such like that. So yeah, if you know anything about Street Fighter, M. Bison being the last boss, Geese is the M. Bison of the SNK universe, the last boss of a lot of the Fatal Fury games. Finished him off quite easily there. So yeah, Geese may be. I don't think he'll make an appearance in there, but if anyone mentions Geese, that's basically what Terry's main rival is, or enemy in the series. As far as the Smash stage goes, so what stage we'll see, King of Fighters is a televised tournament in the world of SNK. So it's like something that everybody watches and is a part of. So it will probably be a ring. I think we actually saw a glimpse of it, but it will probably be a ring with loads of TV crews around, big audiences. They treat the King of Fighters tournament in story-wise like we do Football World Cup, things like that. So there'll be big screens, a ring, a crowd. It'll probably look a little like Osaka here. It won't necessarily be Osaka, that was just for Capcom vs SNK 2. But it will be something a bit like this. Which is not bad. I quite like the ring stage that we have for Little Mac, so having an extra ring stage will be quite good. As far as music goes, I'll be honest, I'm more of a Capcom guy than I am an SNK guy. I do really like their characters, a lot of their characters, but their music I'm not so much of a fan of. When I first played Street Fighter for the very first time, I remember several of the music tracks, and they stayed with me instantly. I've played a fair amount of SNK games, King of Fighters and Fatal Fury. None of the music has stuck with me at all. I couldn't really tell you what Terry's theme song is. I remember there being some annoying kind of train noises in one of them and things like that, but nothing is as catchy as Ken's theme or anything like that. So I'm not too sure where they'll get their music from or what music they'll use. But the stage should be pretty cool, with the crowd cheering behind you and the big screens and the ring. So, as part of Capcom vs SNK, they had a storyline here where they had Rugal, who you'll see there, versus Akuma, was the big story, and how the two of those would pretty much destroy the world if the two fought. I didn't really score enough points here to get the true ending, but this is about Terry, not about Akuma and Rugal. But Rugal is basically the Akuma of the SNK world. He's got a lot of money, he's very powerful, he does a tremendous amount of damage in a very short amount of time. He's tremendously unfair in a lot of his games, as is a lot of SNK bosses are. the SNK is known for having notoriously hard bosses, just for no other reason that you've just gone full length of the game, you're on the last boss, you've only got one more fight to go, so they make it really difficult, so you put in more money into the arcade machine, and why wouldn't they? That's the purpose of an arcade machine. So, but Rugal is being framed right now, but he is a very difficult character to beat, especially on the harder skill levels, where he can just take you out of the air and destroy you out of the air. That overhead kick has caused me many swearing. Okay, now he's angry, so that's going to mean that my life is just suddenly just going to disappear. Just concentrate. There we go. There goes my life. I might actually lose this one. Oh, that was close. Okay, look at that. Oh, okay. Yeah, so as you can see, it takes a tremendous amount of life away from you very quickly, and so a lot of SNK bosses tend to do the same with very unfair mechanics and massive exploding levels. But yeah, this is about Terry, and hopefully that's given you sort of a flavour of what Terry's about. So closing the distance down, lots of kind of Street Fighter type punches and kicks. No real style as such, just if it hits hard, that's Terry. A lot of anti-air. I don't know if that will ring true to what they do. I'll speed the credits up in the final cut so you don't have to sit through the very, very long credits of this game. So yeah, I think Terry's a great pick to represent SNK. I think a fair people would be like, what are they doing? What a waste of a character. But if you really think about the companies involved, SNK is a big company. It's been around for many, many years, very popular in Japan, so they need to represent us. Terry is that choice to represent SNK, and there is no better choice in my opinion. So there you go, Terry in Smash. I'm very excited to see who they do next. I think the rules have changed again on who they're going to pick and who's going to make it into the game, and I just can't wait. I think this is a very exciting time to be a Smash Brothers fan, and who knows what they're going to bring to the table. Thank you for taking a look at Terry with me. Can't wait to give him a go. He is going to be added to the whole host of other characters that I've got in this roster. What a game! What a game! But yeah, if you were wondering who he is and what Terry's all about, hopefully this has given you a little idea and a look at what he might bring to Smash Brothers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.